Okay guys, welcome back. In this video is kind of one more from the versus series, which is playing sport versus lifting weights. So the whole concept is, and I've had this discussion before with a lot of people, I think it's massively important to, I'm looking in that lens again. It's getting on my nerves. I don't know. I'm not unfamiliar with cameras either. It just draws you in. It's like watching a TV screen, isn't it? It's hypnotic. But the discussion I've had with many guys in the past, and I think is one of the most important topics in the male industry, is does sport ruin your physique? Now, that sounds counterintuitive because, and I'll tell you how I got to that theory. And, most people will say play a sport to get in shape, and I do actually encourage that. But when you're trying to get to a certain body type, it's very hard to do, let's say, 90 minutes of football/soccer, 80 minutes of rugby, and, and look your best. So I was saying to a friend of mine before, this is when I stopped playing sport, is that, I stay in shape for something like football. It's 90 minutes once a week, 90 minutes, okay? So you stay lean, you've got your six pack, you're lean, you're mobile, you can move around, you're fast, you're not carrying excess muscle, so you can run around for 90 minutes and you've got that cardio, okay? And you can be at optimum performance. The only problem is when you're lifting weights and you're going for that extra muscle frame, yeah, it might not be as functional, you might not be able to have as good cardio, but you look a lot better. So it puts you in a massive dilemma, which is in the debate I had with my friend, and he actually agreed because he lifts weights too, and I think he stopped playing football for the same reason, is that 90 minutes per week or 80 minutes per week, whatever sport you play, you might play tennis or squash or whatever, is it worth doing that? And maybe doing the training and stuff like that, and staying leaner in order to be able to perform at your best, is it worth doing that for such a small percentage of your week, just maybe once per week for 90 minutes, compared to the rest of your life? A guy who's massively muscular, has a fantastic body, it's not built for performance, but it's built for aesthetics. He comes on the pitch, can't really move around, has an okay game, nobody really thinks he's that great a player, and he's like, do you know what, my body's not really cut out for this, I'm not that great. But outside of football or outside of rugby or the sport that he's playing, he's got the perfect body. So for the one event that might be football for 90 minutes, somebody who's in shape, who's got great cardio, who's a lot leaner, you're the man. For that 90 minutes, you might score 3-4 goals, you're the man, you get man of the match. As soon as you leave that pitch, you're not the man anymore. Your body's not as good for getting women. It's not as good for respect. You don't look as good in normal clothes. Whereas the guy who's a little bit too muscular for football, who's built his body for aesthetics, not performance, comes off the pitch and straight away, after that 90 minutes, for the rest of the week, he's the man. Women are finding him attractive. Other men are thinking he's in great shape. When they go on a night out or they go out and into the daily world, he's wearing nice fitted, strong, let's say a jumper or clothing or whatever, or a shirt, and he looks fantastic. And then for 90 minutes, he just sucks a little. But when you play sports, let's say like a marathon runner, you might love marathon running, but it's like, do you really want to do that? Let's say once a week you do a 3-hour run. It makes you super skinny. Your cardio's through the roof. You look fantastic. Your cardio's through the roof. Your sporting performance is fantastic. You're getting PBs all the time, and everyone's like, what a great runner he is. But outside of that, women don't want to be with a small, skinny man. And then, other guys might just treat you with less respect. And then when you put clothes on, you really struggle to find a fit that looks good on you. And, you might be like, look, I'm the best athlete here. I'm the best athlete in the room, but nobody will believe you. Appearance it means a lot. And if you're not getting paid to do that sport, you do kind of think, why am I doing this? Why am I keeping my sporting performance high when I'm getting nothing back in return? If I were to just pack on that muscle and have a frame that was more aesthetically pleasing than sporting performance positive, then I would be in a much better scenario in life in general. So in terms of does sport ruin your physique, I think yes it does. And it does depend on the sport, because you could do something like American football, NFL, where it's explosive. It's 10 seconds maximum, and then you're resting again, and you can be just jacked to the hills. And a lot of those guys look fantastic, and they still perform at a high level. Or an Olympic sprinter. But it's very hard to be. Boxing, somewhat. Something like Anthony Joshua is a rarity. I think there's some PEDs involved there, but Most boxers are quite lean as well. You look at most fighters with clothes on, like a Khabib or a Justin Gaethje, and they look like they're just normal guys off the street, nothing too impressive, but they would whoop your ass. And it's because their muscle is functionable. It's not there just for show. But for the average person, just for show is 99.9% of your life. So it's like, which route do you go down? Would you rather look good, or would you rather have good sporting performance? And I personally think if you're not getting paid for it and you're not a professional, then sporting performance needs to go out the window. Now, if you're young and you look like you might make a career out of that, then go for it. But anybody who's like my age, let's say 27, 28 or around that age, I don't think there's any point playing sport or dedicating to it too much. I think you're better off just going down the building a body that looks good route rather than one that's functionable and caring about your performance. Drop your ego and just be like, I just do it just for fun. I can't move like I used to, but I do it just for fun. Or, maybe I'm not as fast as I used to be because I've got the extra muscle, my stamina's lower, but I look good 99.9% of the time, which is just day-to-day general life. In my workplace, I'm the man. I can get a lot more women because I look this way. I'm lifting a lot more weight, so I've got the respect of other men around me. My friends think I'm the man. When we go out in public, I wear clothes and I feel confident. I feel strong. They're tight-fitted. I'm wearing like a tight jumper and it just makes my arms look big. That feels a lot better than just scoring a hat-trick once per week once you get to like my kind of age. And I definitely think that sports destroys physique. You look at somebody like Mike Thurston, who I really want to get on the podcast, and he always talks about how he used to be a lot faster at running. He used to have a lot better cardio. He used to be a lot better at sports, but he's built a bodybuilding body for aesthetic purposes because he just simply wants to look good because he believes that that's more effective. He gets paid for that, but it's more effective in day-to-day life. When he walks onto the beach with his top off, nobody's worried if he's the best footballer on the planet or the quickest runner. People are just like, damn, look at this guy's body. And yes, it's kind of hollow, but it means so much more in the modern era than, we've all seen people like Gunnar Nelson, the fighter, fat guy, terrible body, knocked people out for fun, was a superb fighter. Nobody would want his body, but everybody would want his sporting performance. And yeah, he might have been a better fighter if he had got in shape, but had he built all massive muscle, he might not have moved like he used to move. His cardio might not have been as good. His body just suited him for what he was doing. If he had gone down the bodybuilding route, it might not have been as good. You look at somebody like Conor McGregor in the early days, real skinny guy, not a nice frame. You look at him now, he's put a lot more muscle on. He's gone up through the weight classes. He doesn't fight as often. He's getting a lot more offers for like Hugo Boss and Gucci. He's doing photo shoots for GQ. His life has got significantly better as he looks better. And but he used to be a lot faster. He used to move a lot better. But his life has actually improved, and he's an athlete. So never mind the rest of us who are just living day to day. I don't think it serves you best when you don't get paid to do it, and there's no future in that. To have good cardio, good cardio, it will just be part of your life. But I'm saying not elite cardio. You're not training marathons every day. You're not playing sports 4 or 5 times a week and dedicating to it like you're Cristiano Ronaldo because you're not getting paid for it. You're better off saying, I'd rather have slightly worse cardio, I'd rather have slightly worse speed, but I'd rather be in much better shape so that when I meet women, they see me as that top athlete, or they see me as, an improved man. Other guys around me are like, he's the guy, he's the man, he's a big, strong man. And you get that respect off everybody. Because I know guys who are in fantastic, like a Tony Ferguson, insane cardio, could whoop anybody's ass, but nobody would want his body. Nobody wants to look like Tony Ferguson. Everybody knows that Tony Ferguson would beat up Callum Monvonga, but everybody would rather, well, maybe they wouldn't rather his body because this is excessive, but everybody would rather have like a Mike Thurston body, even though Tony Ferguson would whoop Mike Thurston's ass. And I'll bring pictures up of Mike Thurston and Tony Ferguson, you can see what I mean. But sport and performance-wise, it's not even close. Tony Ferguson's in another league, but every guy on the street would rather look like Thurston because outside of sports, 99.9% of the time, Thurston wins in life.